Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Homewrecker Podcast. I am the Golden Greek, Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, Monique. Monique, how are you?
Hello, I am super wicked awesome.
Are you super wicked awesome?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. You know what else is going to be super wicked awesome?
What we're going to talk about today?
Yes!
That's why I'm super wicked awesome.
That's why?
Yes, I'm
All right.
so excited.
So we're going to be talking about 80's movies. Yes. So I'm going to ask you if you could start us off by telling me your... Well, when I say 80's movies and favorite 80's movies, what is your... I guess the first one that pops into your mind. I'm not going to ask you for your favorite. I'm not going to play that game, but...
Well, okay, when you brought up this topic,
Yes.
The very first movie that popped in my head was Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Of course it was.
It's an awesome movie. It's Elvira, hello. It's such a wonderful movie.
It's alright. I mean, it's Elvira, so sure. She's always nice to look at.
Seriously? It's alright. Thanks.
I said she's nice to look at. What do you want? It's not like it's a cinematic masterpiece or anything.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
There's so many great lessons in the movie.
The dead air and silence is...
Just if you're watching this, you can see the stare I'm giving him. Really?
The life lessons in the Elvira movie?
Yeah.
Oh, please, tell us.
It teaches you to have a good sense of humor about things. It teaches you it's okay to be different. It teaches you not to treat people who are different or who look different poorly. There's a lot of good things in there.
So you had to watch an Elvira movie to learn these
No,
lessons?
I'm just saying, as a child, seeing this, it's a good movie.
Okay.
What about you? What was the first movie that popped in your head?
Back to the Future.
Yep. Not shocking.
Yeah.
For you, yeah.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but...
Because you love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. I mean, well, everybody loves that movie. Oh, I think. As far as I know. It might be presumptive of me to think that, but it's a classic. Love that movie. And it kind of epitomizes the 80's, I think. It happened. I mean, it came out in 1985, so I'm sure it was filmed in, like 83, 84. Typically that's how it works, right? It takes about a year to film a movie and about a year for them to edit and put everything all together and release it. I think it epitomized the 80's. And and obviously the story and everything, time travel being the main plot point and all that stuff, I thought it was really good. I love that movie. It's a classic.
Yes. Now, we didn't look at each other's lists.
No, so what we're going to do, I mean, we just said what, first movie pops in our mind, but what we're going to do is we each wrote out a list of 80's movies and then the year that they came out. So we'll go starting at 1980 and we'll work our way up to 1989, and we don't know what we've written on
So
each
we might
other's
have
lists.
some same stuff. There were so many movies I wanted to write down, but I already had 3 pages, so I thought Alex would probably have some of these, and I could just keep going.
I'm sure. But
Yeah, I mean, I could keep going. There's so many incredible movies from the 80's.
And we don't have to give brief synopsises of the movies or anything like that, but I mean, we can, if it happens organically, we can discuss memories of movies or whatever as they come up. But I figure, why don't you go ahead and start us off with 1980? Do you have any movies
I don't
from
have
the year
any
1980?
movies
You have
from
no movies from 1980.
I think the earliest I have is 1982.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this show might go pretty quick then. If we're going to be skipping years.
Well, possibly. What,
I
do you have anything?
I can't even believe you don't have this movie on here.
What?
Friday the 13th.
Yes. There were so many movies.
I mean...
Yes, Friday the 13th, and I thought, well, maybe the second one. I don't know. I kind of left a lot of those movies out.
Any particular reason?
I just figured it would be so obvious. I was trying to go with other ones.
Okay. You figured it would be obvious. They're 80's movies. Of course there's going to be obvious picks. There's going to be people that when we get done this show, they're going to be listening, and they're going to say, why did they say this movie or that movie? Why did they... I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch we forgot.
Because we could be here for 5 hours.
We'll probably do another episode on this, just with the stuff we forget to mention.
I'm like, oh my god, oh, this was the 90s. Oh, I can't wait to do one from the 90s because there are going to be so many.
I just glanced at your list and I'm like, I can't believe I forgot that movie and that movie. Okay. So this will be fun.
I have like 3 pages. Yeah.
So that's all we have for 1980?
That's all you have? Is that all you have?
Yes,
okay.
I only had the one, and I'm sure, like I said, there's plenty others that came out that year. But in 1980, I would have been 3 years old. Mm-hmm. You were born.
I was born,
in 1980. So it's not like we were watching a lot of movies when I was 3 and she was an infant.
Well, my parents did own a video store. No, I'm kidding.
Right. So I think I don't know about you, but for me, a lot of my movies started around 84, 85, when I was a little older, and probably shouldn't have been watching some of these movies at the time, but this is when I was starting to get into watching movies and things like that.
Mine were kind of, mid-late 80s when I started watching a lot of stuff.
But I mean, obviously we went back and watched movies as we got older.
Some of the stuff I haven't watched until I was an adult, but it came out at that time.
Right, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're listing stuff that came out at the time that we like. Yeah. Whether or not we saw it then or whatever, doesn't matter. Do you have anything for 81?
I don't. I have 1982.
Do you have anything for 81? Do I have...
Do you?
I also have nothing for 1981.
My.
Wow. We're terrible. Well, then I guess we're going to move on to 1982.
What do you have for 1982?
For 1982, I have got... Nothing? No, I do have something, sorry. I have First Blood.
I'm not a big Rambo person.
How is that possible?
I'm more of an Arnold gal.
I'm a child of the 80s. I liked Arnold. Stallone. Jean-Claude Van Damme? Like, come on.
If I had to choose one, it would be Arnold.
Alright. Well, nobody's asking you to choose one. But, okay. Fine. So you're not a Rambo person.
Sorry.
Alright.
I hope you still love me.
I do.
Okay.
I do. You're lucky that I still love you.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, moving on.
Alright.
This might be a quick show after all. I don't know.
1982. Do you have any others before I go to mine?
That's all I have for 82.
John Carpenter's The Thing
with
Kurt Russell.
Good movie.
Yes.
Good movie.
Such a good movie.
Good
now, a lot of people, I think they did a remake.
They did, but...
I never saw it.
I didn't see it either, and I heard it was not as good. Which, shocking remake, not as good as the original.
Yeah. But I thought that was a really good movie. It was suspenseful. It had you guessing, like, okay, well, who's infected? What's going on? I don't know, it just kind of kept your heart pumping.
Who's infected? That's timely now, huh? Taking that reference.
Yeah. It's aliens.
Yes, it's aliens.
Blame everything on the aliens.
Blame the aliens for everything.
Yes.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Not for 1982.
So that's it for 82. We just got those two movies.
That's
two good movies, in my view.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's some that we've missed, and I'm gonna go back after and go, okay, I gotta look and see 82, what I miss, and 81, obviously. I'm sure there's more that we've missed.
Oh well, like I said, there's so many movies.
Yeah, obviously.
I was like, I just gotta put stuff down, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, we put down what came to mind. It's not like we researched. I mean, this is just stuff that we remember and that made an impact on us, obviously.
I don't think I have anything for 1983. I'm looking at my list right now.
Amazing. I don't either. I have nothing for 1983.
All right.
So this is great. Yes.
Meanwhile, there are people listening at home or watching being like, oh my god, you totally forgot this movie. They're ripping their hair out. Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, so nothing for 83. I got some stuff for 84. Do you?
I've got 1984, yes.
Okay, what do you have?
This is where it's going to start to pick up.
Yes.
I've got The Terminator.
Yes! I do too. Sorry, I got really excited.
You want my eardrum with that one? Thank you very much.
Sorry. It's awesome. It's The Terminator.
Yeah, hell yeah. Arnold as a bad guy. Awesome. So awesome.
Sarah Connor. Badass female.
Oliver Bach. Oh, such a good freaking movie.
I have a few.
Okay. What else you got?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, okay.
I remember...
All right.
I forget which one it was. It might have been Nerds in Paradise. So I can't remember if that was still in the 80s or if it was the very early 90s. But I remember I wanted to go see it because I liked the Nerds movies. Now remember, I was a small child. And I just remember my mom took me to the theater. My dad and my brother saw something else. We went in to see it. It was Nerds in Paradise because there's a part where there are like naked ladies maybe halfway through, and my mom's like, okay, we're going to watch Adventures in Babysitting or something like that.
Adventures in Babysitting. I forgot about that one.
Oh, it's on my list.
Tremendous. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one.
But it was just funny because my mom took me out of the theater. But I like those movies. I don't care.
All right.
Booger, he was awesome.
Booger.
I thought the nerds were cool.
All right. And now the nerds have taken over the world, so...
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, 1984. Also, Police Academy.
Oh,
And I gotta go with the
Academy.
Police Academy movies, too, because a lot of them took place in the 80s. And they started going to the 90s, but those are awesome movies.
Yeah, funny
Steve
stuff.
Gutenberg.
Gutenberg, yeah.
Yes.
The guy that does all the sounds.
Yes.
Michael Winslow.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, what's his name? And then it popped in my head. Yeah, Michael Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
Tremendous.
Kim Cattrall.
She was in... Oh, yeah, she was.
And she was in Big Trouble in Little China.
That's... Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Another movie. Ghostbusters.
How do I not have that on my list? Yeah.
And that's why I have 3 pages.
Wow. Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
obviously, yeah. Tremendous.
Such a great movie.
And they have another one coming out. Is it this year? Or is it
I don't know
next
when
year?
it's supposed to come out, but from what I heard, it's supposed to be the original cast.
The original cast,
Yeah.
right? Well, whoever's still around.
Yeah.
All right.
So awesome.
Great, yeah. Oh, the original Ghostbusters. A classic.
And another movie, 16 Candles. You can't talk about 80s movies without John Hughes films.
Yeah, I guess so. I was never a big Hughes guy. I don't know.
But he has so many awesome movies. Do you realize how many movies he's done and has to do with?
Educate us.
There's so many. He does, so... I just bumped the microphone, sorry. So, a lot of the 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, like all those kinds of movies. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
He does so many.
I like The Breakfast Club. I
Yeah.
thought that was alright. Wasn't a huge fan of the others.
Another 1984 movie. I used to love this movie when I was a kid. Cloak and Dagger. I don't know if
Never seen it.
anyone else knows about this movie, but it's with Dabney Coleman and Henry Thomas. It's about this kid and he's really into like spy stuff.
1982 E.T. How the hell?
I wasn't a big E.T. fan.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah.
See, I loved E.T.
Hmm.
I probably haven't seen it since 1982. No, that's a lie. I've seen it since then, but it's been a long time since I watched that movie. But yeah, that's right, 1982. That was E.T. That's one I should have mentioned.
But yeah, Cloak and Dagger.
So,
That's a really fun movie.
Okay.
When I was a kid,
Was that based on the comic book, or did the comic book come out after the movie? Do you
Like,
know?
I know. I think
just
by the
asking.
time I watched it, I was like 7.
Okay.
But
All right.
I thought it
I
was
didn't
really
know
cool.
if you maybe had gone back and...
No. We don't do research here on this show. Come on.
I'm not talking about for
Kidding.
this show. I'm saying if you knew in general.
No.
Because you just said what an awesome movie it was. And
Yeah.
you've gone back at some point in your life
No.
and looked into it. I don't know.
No.
Thought I'd ask.
I love the Goonies and Mistress of the Dark, but I'm not going back looking at history of things, so.
How dare I ask questions?
How dare you question me?
All right. So are we still in 84 or are we
Yes,
in 84?
1984, if you have anything else.
I'm that's all I have for
Okay,
84.
moving on up to 1985. What have you got?
Time to rock and roll. All right. I already mentioned Back to the Future. Commando.
Yes, Commando.
Arnold was a freaking badass in
Yes.
Commando. Awesome movie. Plenty of awesome Arnold one-liners in that one. I also have Rambo First Blood Part 2, which was awesome. Miss, I don't like Rambo. Whatever. Also...
What have we got? I feel like in the office, yeah, what else you got?
that's actually what was going through my head when... Yeah. Teen Wolf.
I don't really care about Teen Wolf.
Are you kidding me? How are we married? Are you kidding? You don't like Teen Wolf?
I didn't say I don't like Teen Wolf.
Come on.
I said I don't really care about I don't really care for Teen Wolf.
We're watching Teen Wolf after we're done recording. That's it. You're gonna fall in love with the movie because it's awesome. Come on, Teen Wolf. Michael J. Fox is a werewolf.
I get it. I've
So
watched
good.
it. It's just
Styles surfing on top of the van. Beach Boys going. Come on.
there are gonna be movies on my list that you don't like either.
Oh, Teen
You
Wolf.
didn't care about Mistress of the Dark, so I guess we're
But
even.
Teen Wolf. Come on.
Okay.
That really shocked me. I'm really surprised, and not in a good way.
Go on.
Okay. I think that's all I have for 85, so I'll let you go now.
You ready?
You
You ready for some awesomeness?
The
The Goonies.
Yeah, that's good. The Goonies. Yeah.
Goonies are good enough.
That's right.
Cyndi
1985,
Lauper
that's-
putting
yeah,
music on the
okay.
soundtrack. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So many awesome people. Sean Austin, Corey Feldman, Martha Plimpton, Josh Brolin.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in it too. Yeah.
It's so weird because he was in Men in Black 3 playing Tommy Lee Jones' character from the past. And he did such a good job.
Yeah,
and I just remember watching that thinking, like, that's Brandon from the Goonies.
And he was the heck, purple guy, Thanos in the Avengers movies too.
Yes.
Right? I mean, obviously CGI, but yeah, he did really.
You said purple guy. I'm like, Grimace?
I'm like, why can't I blanked on his name for a minute there. I'm like, who was he? What was his name? Yeah, Thanos. Jeez.
Yeah. It's such a good cast. That was another movie when I was a kid. I think that's why I love pirates so much and pirate history. It was just one of those movies, when you're a kid and you're watching that.
The Goonies is what got you into pirates? Is that what you're saying?
Probably.
Okay. No, that's fair. Yeah,
But
fair.
I just remember watching that movie and thinking, like, you can do anything. You can go on adventures. Like, so it's like that imagination too, but not having to use only your imagination. So like when you go out, like anything's possible. You can find anything. You can do anything. And it gives you that feeling like, yeah, I can do anything. It's possible. Woo.
Yeah.
It's a great underdog story.
Yeah, it is. No, it's great. It's a great movie. Absolutely. I totally agree. Anything else from 85?
I do.
What else you got?
Better Off Dead with John Cusack. I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Stop
start.
your eardrums out like that.
I
Jeez.
love that movie. And one of the main characters' names is Monique. John Cusack is in it.
Yeah.
And it's, if you ever hear the quote, $2. The kid, remember watching Back to the Beach with me?
Yes.
Annette's son Bobby? Frankie and Annette, their son Bobby?
Okay.
The kid who had the switchblade comb?
Yes.
He's in that movie. He's the paper boy, and he keeps saying like $2 because he owes $2.
Right.
I forgot to put Back to the Beach on my list.
What year did it come out?
I want to say maybe 86, but I'm not sure.
So just put it in.
So I'm putting it in right now, Back to the Beach.
Okay.
But yeah, Better Off Dead is such a fun
Right.
movie. Again, John Cusack, can't go wrong.
Okay.
Let's see what else in 1985. Clue!
Clue. Yeah.
Cannot forget Clue. Tim Curry,
That came out in 85.
Madeline
I thought
Kahn.
it was. Okay. I didn't realize it came out in 85. I thought it was after.
Yes,
that. Okay.
1985.
All right.
So many. Oh, so good. I just want to go watch all these movies now. Another awesome movie from 1985,
Yes.
The Return of the Living Dead. Now, I'd already watched Night of the Living Dead, and I think I watched this probably later 80s. So a few years after it came out.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember it was scary, but it was funny too. So it made me a little less scared. It still freaked me out because it's zombies. And then, of course, it was like this new type of zombie that could talk. So I had to be more prepared for now these kinds of zombies. And it only gets worse as these zombies movies kind of have their sequels. But it was really good. It's like, your brain smells so spicy. And the chick's like, spicy? My brain smells spicy? And he's like, uh-huh. It's hilarious. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I'm sure there are some people somewhere who agree with me. I forgot a movie from 1983.
Which one?
Vacation! National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah. How do we both forget that one?
And all the vacation
See?
movies.
There's people right now going, yeah, how'd you forget this?
Yeah.
Buddy?
The vacation movies
Yeah.
started in 1983. And so you had Vacation, then you had European Vacation, and then Christmas Vacation was 1989.
Was it? Okay, so maybe
1989.
Okay.
So those movies, I love those vacation movies.
Yeah, classics.
Yeah.
Obvious classics. Did you see Vegas Vacation? I think it came out like 94 or 95.
Yeah, of course. I loved it.
I liked it too, yeah.
Ethan Embry was awesome.
I gotta say, not to get too crazy off topic here, but the fact that they had different actors for Rusty and Aubrey in like every movie.
It's great. It's the gimmick.
I guess.
It's the gimmick.
I guess. I don't know.
They also live in a different house in every movie.
Yeah. Alright, fine. It made it tough for me to follow.
Really? That made it tough
for you? I don't know. I'm big into continuity and that kind of thing and stuff making sense. So.
Now for another movie.
I still enjoy them, don't get me wrong. Alright, I'll stop being a nerd. Okay, next.
Back to the Future, but you already brought that up.
Right.
Okay, so where are we? 1986?
85. Is that all your 85?
Yep, that's all my 85.
So we're done 1985.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we go back to 1986? What do you got for 1986?
For a moment when you paused, I was like, what do you mean 1980? We already did that. Okay. One Crazy Summer, another John Cusack movie.
Is that John Hughes too?
Yeah, it might be. I don't remember, but it's one of those kind of fun movies.
All right.
About these friends going away to the Cape for the summer. Always a girl involved, like somebody's trying to get. So it's just a really fun movie.
What Crazy Summer? I'm trying to think, did I see that? It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it.
It's one of those. I feel like it's a little more obscure compared to some of the other movies out there of the 80s, but it's good.
All right.
Blue Velvet. Do you remember that? David Lynch movie.
I don't think I've ever seen Blue
Isabella Rossellini.
That's Harvey Keitel, right? Is he in it?
Dennis Hopper.
Sorry,
Hopper, Laura Dern.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen it.
Kyle MacLachlan.
I've seen like clips of it, and I've heard bits and pieces of it, just different quotes and stuff like that.
I'm just thinking like other movies like Dennis Hopper, The River's Edge. That's another awesome movie. I don't remember. Keanu Reeves was in that one.
River's Edge.
Oh, that movie's so good. It's messed up, but it's good. But Blue Velvet.
Is that the one? Isn't Slayer on the soundtrack for The River's Edge?
Possibly. I don't remember.
They've got like a lot of like heavy bands on that soundtrack, right? Because I know that movie only from the soundtrack. I've never seen it, but I heard it's messed up.
Yeah, it's like really messed up.
What's it about?
So River's Edge is about this guy who killed his girlfriend. And he tells his friends, he leaves her, she's like naked, she's along the bank of a river. And he like goes and tells his friends and they're like, yeah, okay, they don't believe him. So they go and they find her dead and they're trying to figure out what to do. But nobody goes to the cops. So then once the cops find out, they're trying to figure out like, what do we do? Because they knew he killed her, but they didn't say anything. And they don't want to get in trouble for the murder as an accessory after the fact. So, yeah. And, like, all this other weird stuff happens. But it's good.
He sounds it. Yeah.
You're like, it sounds great. So, back to Blue Velvet.
Okay, Blue Velvet.
Yes, it's one of those movies, again, it's David Lynch. A lot of people find it weird, but I found it enjoyable.
Well, what's it about? Just brief synopsis.
Okay. Isabella Rossellini is kind of like this lounge singer, and so Kyle MacLachlan, I think he's dating Laura Dern. I haven't watched this movie in a very long time. He's dating Laura Dern, and he kind of meets Isabella Rossellini, and he kind of starts having a thing for her, and she's seeing Dennis Hopper, and he's like super controlling, and there's like all this weird stuff that kind of goes on and happens.
Kinda, or it does?
I guess depends on how you look at it. We'll watch it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about anything. I'm like, we're just going to watch it.
We'll get it on the list.
Yes.
Sure.
So we're in 1986, right?
Correct.
I know I have more. I have a bunch of 1987.
But is that all you have for 86?
That's all I have for 1986.
Okay. You missed Cobra. Sylvester Stallone, Cobra. You've never seen Cobra?
No.
I'm putting my head in my hands right now.
And this is why it's the Homewrecker Podcast.
I can't believe you've never seen Cobra. Ugh. You're the disease.
No.
And I'm the cure. No, you don't. Come on. God, so good. All right, we're watching that movie too. We're watching that after we're done recording.
Oh.
With Teen Wolf. We're going to do a marathon.
Oh, so we can do your movies but not mine?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Okay. So where are we, 1987, or do you still have more for 86?
That was all for 86 for me.
Okay.
Right now, but I'm sure there's more that when we're done recording and I go and I look, I'm going to go, I can't believe I forgot that one and this one and that one.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I had for 86.
Okay, what do you have for 87?
Well, 87, Lethal Weapon, which we've done a show on.
That's on my list.
Phenomenal movie.
Mm-hmm.
And The Running Man, another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie with Jesse Ventura is also in that.
That movie's so good.
So awesome.
I love that movie.
And Predator.
Yes! Okay, that was on my list too.
Another Arnold and Jesse movie.
Oh my gosh. If you listen to our show regularly, you know we love Predator. We even made a drinking game about it.
Yes, the Predator drinking game is still probably the quickest I've ever gotten drunk.
It was, yeah.
Ridiculous. Just ridiculous rules for that game. Unbelievable. Yes.
So good.
So, what about you? Did you...
Spaceballs.
How did I forget Spaceballs? Damn it. Yes,
May the Schwartz be with you.
That was me pounding my fist into the table. I can't believe I forgot that movie. Oh, that movie's so awesome. So awesome.
So good. Bill Pullman, John Candy.
We forgot The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
You did.
Well, you did too.
I'm more of a Spaceballs fan.
Oh my god.
No, I like those movies. They're great, but I'm kind of going
see
back.
What I mean though? Like I just realized you said Spaceballs.
Yeah, I'm going back to like my childhood nostalgia.
Yeah, how's Empire Strikes Back?
Because I didn't really watch that until I was like older, like teenager.
You didn't watch those when you were a kid?
Not that I remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I did. No, I did watch them, but I think when I watched them, I was like younger. So I remember when I saw Yoda, and I wanted Yoda for a pet, and I remember like seeing the Ewoks and wanting them for pets, but that was all I remembered. It didn't have quite that childhood.
Gremlins. I think that was 85.
Yes,
85
I
or
didn't
86.
put Gremlins on because I was trying to go with like the ones I really like love.
Oh, come on.
Gizmo? Yeah.
You didn't want a pet Mogwai when you were a kid?
Of course I did.
When you were talking about pets, I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted a pet Mogwai.
But I have 3 pages of movies.
Okay. Well,
So,
I mean, there's no time limit on how long we can talk for.
I know. I'm
I've
just trying to be considerate to our listeners.
Pages. It doesn't matter. It's a podcast. People can pause it and come back and listen again if it's taking too long.
Something I mentioned earlier, Adventures in Babysitting.
Yes. That was 87?
That was 87. So okay. I'm taking Nerds in Paradise must have been in 1987.
I had a crush on Elizabeth Shue from that movie when I was a kid. Yeah. When I was a kid. When I was younger, I was like, wow, that's a pretty girl. And now I look, I'm like,
No, she's pretty.
I don't know.
I didn't have a crush on her.
Karate Kid! That was 85. She was in that, right? She was the girlfriend. Yeah, in the first Karate Kid, that was Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, because I'm like, was it Elizabeth?
Yes, it was. Sure was. How did we forget? See?
What about The Lost Boys? 1987.
Wasn't on my list, but yeah, great movie.
So good.
Great movie. Yeah.
That movie is like just so iconic for like vampire movie.
Every time I watch that movie, the thing that gets me every time that is so just ridiculous and out of place, in my view, when they're in is it like at the carnival or whatever, they're watching like a concert, and they've got like this Jack,
the dude with the saxophone,
the Jack and Tan guy playing the saxophone.
So awesome.
And it's just like, I don't get it, but it's just.
I think it's just trying to show that vibe.
But it's
like
awesome.
The beach.
But it just doesn't make any sense. It just feels like it's completely out of place. This jacked, massive, tan dude with like a long-haired, bony tail, And he's playing the sax.
I have to say this for
Fantastic.
The Lost Boys. I love this movie. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. But one thing I guess I want to say about it is our friends are huge Lost Boy fans. Vinny Marseglia and his beautiful, lovely wife, my friend Erica. Vinny actually made like the jacket, the replica jacket from the movie. He's like done a lot of replica work that he made from the movie, and it's really cool looking. He's done a lot of awesome work. So that movie, after it popped in my head, I thought of them and I was like, yeah. So I think they'd be proud I put that on the list.
Yeah.
Because it's an awesome movie.
Tremendous.
Yes.
Jacked guy playing the saxophone. That's what I think of every time I think of that movie.
You said Leave the Weapon, but you
did.
didn't say The Gate with Stephen Dorff. Yeah. The Gate. Playing the record backwards, summoning the demons, sister sleepover
There's
party.
so many people listening right now or watching going, The Gate? What?
Really?
Yeah. I had never even heard that movie until you and I got together.
What?
And you made me watch it. And I didn't think it was that great. Just saying. Didn't think it was that great. You can put it on the list, that's fine, but to act like it's this groundbreaking, memorable
It's an awesome
piece
movie.
of cinematic history. Just saying.
Wow.
I totally burst your bubble with that one, huh? That's what you get for not knowing about Cobra.
What about Raising Arizona
What was on my list?
with Nicolas Cage?
I know who's in it. It
It
was
was
okay.
a fun movie.
It was alright, I guess.
I liked it.
It was okay. I don't know if it...
And another one that's a total classic that you did not mention is The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Shame on me. Missed that one.
Classic movie.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes.
I think that was 84 or 85. Missed that one. Well, I mean, we're mentioning it now.
Again, I thought of that, but there were so many movies. I just thought,
If
okay,
you say there's so many movies again...
you're going to smack me. Pretty much
Why do you
take
go
all the
violence
movies.
all the time?
Take all the
No,
movies
I was going
made
to say,
in the
I'm
1980s.
just going to edit all of your audio out for
Okay.
the rest of the episode. That's what I was going to say. Smack you. What are you talking about?
If you take all the movies
Jeez.
made in the 80s, take away maybe like 15% of them, and then like they're all incredible movies. Like the 85% is just amazing. There were so many great... Well, no, okay. I'm not going to say it anymore.
Thanks.
The 80s were awesome.
Okay. And you know there's some teenagers maybe listening to this going, no, the 80s sucked. I've watched those movies. My parents made me watch them. They suck. They're stupid. Force Awakens. Last Jedi, man. 80s sucked. I'm just saying. It's generational. For us, this is when we grew up. So for us, yeah, the 80s were awesome. But a lot of people now, younger people, maybe don't feel that way.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
That's sad.
We're looking at everything through the glasses of our youth. We're looking at it through that lens.
Kind of like with
That's
wrestling. The best point of wrestling was when you were a kid watching it. Everyone feels that way. I get it.
No, that's not true. But okay.
No, that's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, whatever. It's everybody. Everybody thinks that the music they listened to when they were growing up was the best, and it's just how it is. But the '80s, in my view, movies
really did make the best movies.
Movies were awesome in the '80s.
Top notch.
Great things that have come out since, obviously, and obviously stuff before. But the '80s, it seemed like it was just they were banging them out, like, one hit after another.
There's one movie
just
you haven't
awesomeness.
mentioned yet, but I don't know what year it came out. So I'm gonna wait until.
We'll wait till the end. Then.
Okay.
So you're jumping around and messing up my
Nope.
timeline.
1988. What you got?
1988, Die Hard, which we
Yes,
already
that's on my
done a show
list.
on. Yes. And The Naked Gun.
Yes, I figured you'd put it on your list, so I didn't put it on mine.
All right. Huge fan of the Naked Gun movies and the show Police Squad,
Yes.
which came out in the 70s. But I
I
actually
love the Naked Gun movies.
I watched those TV shows in 7th grade. My history teacher, my U.S. history teacher, don't ask me why, but he decided he was just going to show us the Police Squad, the show that the Naked Gun movies came from, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, we watched them all just over a couple of weeks in his class. He's
like, I don't want to teach you guys anything.
No, but it was cool because he was like pointing out things in the show, because a lot of us are watching it and we're like, what? Like, what the hell's going on? And he would just like, his name was Mr. Frame, and he would like point out different things. He would like pause the show and he would like point out different things and explain different things, and it was pretty cool. So I got kind of like, I guess that was his way of his excuse for showing us these shows.
Yeah, if you learned something.
He was teaching us stuff. He was pointing out just different things that weren't normal about the way they were doing the show, and different jokes and things like that, because a lot of us were like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, anyway, that made me, and then when the Naked Gun came out, I was like, oh, it's awesome.
I also didn't put down the airplane movies, but...
yes, I forgot.
I love those movies.
Was that the 80s, or did that come out in 79?
Oh.
The first one. I'm pretty sure the sequel was in the 80s.
Yeah.
But I'd have to look. I'm not going to look right now,
yeah.
but I would have to look. But yes, the airplane movies, awesome. Anything the Zucker brothers did was fantastic.
Yes.
In my view.
Okay, so we have Naked Gun. What else?
Naked Gun. I've also got They Live.
Yes, I have that too.
Phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
Some might even say it's a documentary. It's not, but...
You definitely could.
You could definitely make that argument, especially now. The Deadpool with Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
And Guns N' Roses makes like a brief cameo in that movie.
That's right.
Yep. Awesome movie.
I'm just like, there's so many other movies I'm
forgetting now. Was it a couple of years back when we watched all the Dirty Harry movies in a row?
Yes,
We did like a marathon Dirty Harry movies. Fantastic.
So good.
So awesome. So good. For 88, I also have... No, I mentioned Die Hard. I think that's all I have for 88.
Okay. Well, I mentioned Mistress of the Dark. That was 1988.
Oh, no. Rambo 3.
Oh.
Rambo 3.
Let me see, because we said They Live.
Okay.
I forgot one from 1987.
What'd you forget?
Some Kind of Wonderful. Eric Stoltz, Mary Stuart Masterson, Leah Thompson. The only thing I care about are me, my drums, and you. Nothing. I got nothing here.
Never seen it.
Elias Koteas is a skinhead. Oh my god. Your ass is too precious for vinyl. Like...
These are lines from the movie that you're telling me right now, right? Okay.
Yes.
Like, what are you saying? Okay.
Okay, another movie. Sorry, I just bumped you. Another movie we're watching. 1988. We already said Die Hard. Oh, one movie I forgot to get the year for. Conan the Barbarian.
I think that was 82.
Was it?
82 or 83, I believe. Off the top of my head, I could be wrong, but yeah. And then The Destroyer came out after. Because it was Conan the Barbarian was first, then it was Conan the Destroyer.
Oh, and I forgot...
Red Sonja, which I think was 86.
I forgot another 1987.
What else?
Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, yeah. Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
Great movie. Great movie. I didn't see that till
movie. Matthew Modine
much later,
as
but
Joker.
Yeah. Oh, such a good movie. D'Onofrio.
Oh, my God.
He was awesome in that.
Private Pile.
Arlie Ernie.
Yes.
Rest in
Love
peace.
him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, I
one
love
of
that
Kubrick's
movie.
better works, in my view.
So good.
Yeah, good movie. Very good movie.
So I guess for 1988,
Got everything?
you said it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start us off with 89
then? UHF, Weird Al.
Oh, man. I didn't put that on my list. That is such a damn good movie, though.
So
I
funny.
love UHF.
Yeah.
So awesome. Good call. So awesome.
I remember watching that as a kid. I've since I was a kid, I have loved Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, yeah. Weird Al's great.
He's so funny. And I just remember watching that movie, and it was so ridiculous and funny. And it was something like a kid could watch.
Yeah, I think it was PG-13, wasn't it?
Something like that.
I think it was. I don't know why it got
Of course,
that rating,
back in the 80s, there were different standards for ratings.
Yeah.
So you could have a PG and show tits and swear.
Yeah, right.
It was the 80s, huh?
I mean, it's pretty much happening on TV now, isn't it? After a certain hour, you can show nudity now or whatever.
No.
Things have changed. Things have changed since we were young. But was that PG-13? It was, right?
I didn't write down the rating.
Okay. Anyway.
One movie I figured you'd probably have, but I'll say it. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Not on my list, but should have been. Yeah, good call. Not on my list. I forgot about Bill and Ted's.
Excellent. Come on.
I forgot about that
Oh,
one.
wow.
And that is a phenomenal film.
Yeah.
Fun movie. Yeah. What else you got?
Let me see. I have so many written down, and some of them are kind of smushed because I was like, oh yeah, trying to fit it on the paper, that I don't want to miss anything because I already skipped a few as we learned. I think that's it, 1989.
You have anything else for 89?
Okay, what do you have?
I'm just asking.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
Stallone and Kurt Russell. Such a good movie. Loved that movie. It was great. I had put down Terminator 2, but then realized it didn't come out till 91.
I was going to say, I thought it was like 99.
Yeah. And then I also had put down Total Recall, and I checked, and that didn't come out till 1990.
See, that's why a lot of these movies I was thinking, like, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, but I think that was like 90 or 91.
I think that was 91, yeah.
So, that will be on our 90s movies
Yeah,
podcast.
we're going to do a 90s one, I guess.
Episode, yeah.
And we're going to have to come back and do another 80s one, because we've obviously left out some.
Well, I intentionally left some out because I wanted to get these other ones in, but...
Well, what else?
Well, we talked about, like, Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, yeah.
Now that I'm, like, on the spot, I'm like, oh my gosh, what else?
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah. Thinking is hard. I try to make you laugh. Why won't you just laugh at me?
I have one more 1989 movie.
Oh, what do you have?
And it's right at the top of my list. It's right at the top.
I can't read it.
Right?
Yeah.
Gleaming the Cube with Christian Slater. That movie got me into skateboarding.
Such a good movie.
That is the reason I got into skateboarding when I was younger. Gleaming the Cube.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that movie. Thought it was so awesome. So awesome. That was one that I would go to the video store.
Like the kind my parents used to own?
That kind. I would go to the video store and rent that movie all the time. It was so awesome. Loved that movie. I've gone back and watched it since. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but, you know, I watched it when I was younger, in 89, 90 when it had come out. And I went back and watched it again. Had to be 10, 15 years later, and I was like, it's not that good. But, I mean, at the time, as a kid, watching that movie, you know, a 12-year-old, whatever I was, it's like, oh, this is so awesome.
What was it? His adopted brother got killed.
Oh, I
He was
gotta
murdered.
ride a skateboard, do all these tricks, and blah, blah. To me, it was cool. I liked it a lot.
I remember they're all skateboarding down the hill, and there's like a Pizza Hut. off to the
Yeah, Tony
side.
Hawk was actually the Pizza
Yeah.
Hut truck driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, they
in
had like
that.
all these awesome like big name skateboarders that were in the movie that were like playing Christian Slater's friends, and I think Tony Hawk might have even been his stunt double. I can't remember, but yeah, I love that movie. So good. It was so good. Like I said, I watched it again many years later. Didn't have that high an opinion of it, but still liked it. Made an impression on me as a kid.
What else do you have?
That was it
Oh.
for that. Rounded out my list. That and Tango and Cash were my 89 movies. That's it.
That went a lot quicker than I had expected. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Sure, go over your 3 pages and see if you've left anything out.
I'm going to.
Well, you mentioned Christmas Vacation
Yeah.
for 89.
Well, that's why, yeah. And because, like, the Police Academy movies, there's so many in that decade.
Okay, so we'll count those, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what you left out, too? The Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yeah.
All of them, because I think in the 80s there had to be at least 3 that came out in the 80s. I think Dream Warriors might have been... That was the third one, right? I think that may have been 87 or 88.
And there
I
were
think.
so many amazing 80s horror movies. And
You got all the Friday the 13th sequels that came out. I think Jason Takes Manhattan was like part 8, right? And that came out like 88.
I loved that movie.
Really?
I just like anything with Jason.
Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, you do love Jason. Okay.
He's the strong, silent type.
Right.
But yeah, The Nightmare on Elm Street. You have movies like April Fool's Day.
I never saw that.
Sleepaway Camp.
Never saw
Chopping Mall. Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet, that's right, yeah. We watched that pretty recently.
Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, we
The
watched
Stuff.
that pretty recently too.
There's so many amazing 80s horror movies.
There were
I feel like it needs its own show.
Alright, maybe we'll come back and do a show on 80s
Yeah.
horror movies. Sure, why not? Yeah, the 80s, I think we mentioned this in a recent episode, how movies that are coming out now, and again, it might just be just our age or whatever, but I just feel like nothing really is entertaining like it was back then. It's stuff now is too political, a lot of it, and too much agenda pushing and stuff like that. And it's just not as enjoyable to watch. So we have been recently going back and looking at a lot of movies from years past to actually be entertained.
Yeah.
You know, instead of having to watch something and feel like we're being lectured to or something, you know.
Who really wants to be lectured when they're trying to enjoy something?
Try to just sit back, relax, and forget about your troubles, not
Yeah.
be lectured to and have an agenda pushed on you and what have you. Anyway,
You're all set, thank you.
yeah, all set with that kind of stuff. But yeah, so the 80s were definitely a great time for movies. And even now, you find that there's a lot of movies that come out that take place in the 80s. There's TV shows like Stranger Things, for example, the Netflix show, which is really good, that takes place in the 80s. And it's pretty much, they romanticize that time period. Because I think there's a lot of people that are our age now that are the ones making the movies. And that's the time they grew up. So, yeah, I think... Yeah, I don't know. It was a good time. It really was a good time. I mean, you had video games really started to get big. I mean, you had arcades and stuff like that in the late 70s too, but like the home video game systems started to come out and just kind of a different genre of entertainment, I guess. And the 80s were so, I guess, abundant with a booming economy in the United States, and everything was plentiful, and everybody was happy, and everything was.
I feel like it was the last decade before everyone started getting cell phones.
Yeah.
You know, before everyone was on the internet, and it was kind of that more simpler time still.
I guess you could make that argument.
But at the same time, there was so much going on, so it was a nice combination because like you could go outside and play. But there was still, like, I mean, again, I'm just thinking back to, like, 80s movies. You could still go outside and play, but it's... No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just, things felt safer back then.
Sure. Yeah,
I guess
you could say that, but...
But you had that kind of... I'm trying to think of how I can explain it. Like, you had your funny movies, and you had, like, your horror, and I'm thinking, like, you know... 80s movies were like Tits and Blood if it was a horror movie. That was a good horror movie back in the 80s. But if it had those two things. But I don't know, it was just still a simpler time. Even though there was so much going on. And it was fun time, darn it.
Anything else you'd like to add?
The 80s were great.
Okay.
I'm thankful I was able to be a part of them.
I liked the 80s too. It was a good time to grow up. And again, anytime you're growing up is a good time to grow up.
Pretty much.
If you've got, you know, good family and good upbringing. And
this is true. And especially if your parents own a video store.
Right. There you go.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
There you go. So, I guess, we'll close out now. Since we've gone through our list. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. Like I said, when we stop recording, I'm going to pick up my phone or go on IMDb and
we'll shut the mics off, we'll shut the camera off, and then it'll come to us.
And it'll all come to us and be like, oh yeah, that one and that one. And we'll probably do a part 2 for this.
Sure.
And if there's any movies that you can think of as you're listening to this, and you're like, well, how did you not mention this one? Well, hit us up on social media and let us know all about it. You can reach us on Twitter.
At Homewrecker Pod.
We have an Instagram as well.
Homewrecker Podcast.
And if you haven't already gone to our website,
homewreckerpodcast.com, and buy a shirt.
Step all over me while I'm trying to talk, please.
Buy a shirt.
Sign up for our forum.
Yes.
Set up a profile username and talk to us and interact with us on there as well, and tell us how foolish we are for missing your favorite 80s movie.
Yes, or if there's a movie you want us to just spend a whole episode on to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, we've done that too.
We're more than happy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done that too. We'll probably do it again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't already gone over to iTunes or wherever it is that you listen to your podcasts and hit that subscribe button, please do that as well. And leave us a 5-star review when you get a minute. It really helps to grow the visibility of the show so we can grow the audience as well.
And if you're watching this on Brighteon or on YouTube, please subscribe and like our videos.
Yes. And if you've got nothing else, I think this is as good a time as any for the Bouncing Souls to come back in.
I love this song.
Sorry, YouTube, you can't hear it.
Bouncing Souls, these are the quotes from our favorite 80s movies. So good.
And until next time, I am the Golden Greek Alex Serio, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker Podcast.